Hello, I'm Adam at abetterpianoteacher.com, and today I want to help you learn quicker and better. My focus in my piano teaching is always to provide the right steps for my students so that in just a half-hour lesson over a period of about 3 months, they can make significant progress and become a step above the piano player they were before. And today we're going to talk about one of the principles that guides me, and it's called sequencing. That you can teach anyone anything if you set the situation up right. I'm currently teaching in the public schools as a math tutor, and this same idea helps me teach 3rd, 4th, 5th grade kids who have difficulty with math how to do their math, because I know how to set the problem up right. Here's how you do it. The thing you want to learn, you have to break into tasks. That everybody knows, baby steps, right? But there are 2 conditions that these steps have to meet. One is that they have to be the right size, not too easy, not too difficult. If they're too easy, you tend to fall asleep while you're doing them and you don't think, you daydream, you get lost in how easy it is, and then the next step hits you like a ton of bricks. If the steps are too hard, you get discouraged and you drop out. You think you can't do it. So the steps have to be exactly the right level of difficulty. The right level of difficulty is where they're just difficult enough to engage you, get you thinking, asking you a question that you can figure out, but you have to push a little to get. That's what you want. Now those steps could be different sizes as long as they're that level of intensity all the way through. I'm going to show you an example of this with a piece of music I'm going to briefly show you. This is a chorale I'm learning for my next service. And the chorale goes like this at the beginning. Now, that's the final result, and that's because I've been practicing it. But let's say I didn't know it. How could I learn this? Well, I could take each voice separately. Got it. There's the soprano. Here's the alto. You get the idea, right? Are you bored yet? I am, because there's 2 problems with it. One, it's lacking in context. That alto doesn't sound like anything. Alto lines are usually harmony lines, and without the melody, they're hard to get. So I'm not learning anything by doing this alto line. Another thing is, playing a single line is too easy for me. I'm just not into it. So a better step would be to play the soprano and the alto together as my first step. That is a better first step. It engages me than the tenor and bass, the left hand. Now, if you are not as good a pianist as I am, and I'm not saying I'm great, but I'm good enough to do 2 notes at once, then you might want to do 1 note at a time, or you might want to do 1 measure at a time, maybe just the first measure. Do it again. Get the idea? You pick the task that's just hard enough for you that it bugs you a little bit, but it's not so hard that it throws you. Does that make sense? And for me, that is 4 measures, right hand only, left hand only. Okay? Now let's talk about the second condition. The second condition is that your steps have to build on one another. If I were teaching guitar, I would not do this. Hi kids, here's a guitar. Hi kids, here's a picture of a horse. Hi kids, here's 3 marbles. Those 3 things have nothing to do with each other. They might learn about a horse and marbles and a guitar, but they're probably going to forget all of that after I leave the room because those are not connected. If I say, hi, here's a guitar. Hi, here's how you hold it. You turn it this way. Hi, here's how you strum it. Each of those steps builds on one another. First, you see the guitar. Then you figure out how to hold the guitar. Then you figure out what to do with the guitar. So each step relies on the previous step as a precondition, and the precondition leads you to the next step. So what does that have to do with our Bach chorale here? Well, if I learn the right hand, that suggests the music in general. It suggests a kind of harmony. And if I learn it well, and then I add the left hand, then I've built on what I did with the right hand. The right hand created something, and the left hand added to it and built it up. Or I could do it the other way around, left hand first and right hand. In any case, what I've done is I've created two steps, one which built on the other. Now, I've got this first phrase. There's another phrase after it. I learned that one. Okay, now I've done it again. Step and better step. Now what? Put the two phrases together. Now this may seem obvious to anyone that's ever learned a piece of music, but let's do it the wrong way, just by comparison. Hey, I've got this Bach chorale. I think I'll learn the right hand. Okay, now I think I'll learn the right hand of a completely different part. Now I think I'll learn, the bass and the alto here. So these are steps, but they don't build on one another. Now, there may be meaning in it if you are, hyper intelligent and you're easily bored and you want to learn spots that you can then fill in. That's a possibility. But if you're just, ordinary person, ordinary Joe trying to learn, you want to find steps that build in a way that are logical, Let's say you've learned the whole thing. Let's say you can play the whole chorale perfectly. What step could you go to from there? Well, you could count to it. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That step is a step up because it ups the pressure on you, but it requires that you know the music to do it. It builds on the previous step. Want another step? 3 times perfect. That was 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 3 times perfect step is a step up from what I did previously with the counting, because now I have to do it harder. It's another step that's challenging me, but it comes out of the work I did previously. I could just start by saying, hey, can I count this? Then I could split the hands up. Then I could try 3 times perfect. But those steps are out of sequence. They don't help me like this one is. Learning how to craft these steps that are both appropriate sizes and sequential make the task of learning not only easier, but more fun and more effective. If you have a learning task you can't break up, something you're trying to figure out how to break up, and you need help, I am available to you. Please contact me at abetterpianoteacher.com, and I will help you break the task up. If there's anything else I can do for you, please leave me a comment below. And as always, I'm trying to be a better piano teacher.